Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my neck of the woods. I have you down here in Rustic in Lunang Nuea. That is the kind of village that I live in over here. And it's right off the 118. I want to show you this real quick. So this is the 118 that runs from the city all the way up to Chiang Mai. When you turn off the 118, this is what you'll see. I did a video on Vivo Beni, which is the retirement resort here in this area. And there are so many resorts here. There's Mom and Me Resort. On a different video, I'm going to show you a lot of these places. But in this video, I just wanted to talk about this village and why we choose this village, what we love about it, and some pros and cons. All right, so one of the things you're going to have to decide when you move here is where do you want to live? And I wanted to show you this because this is like a rustic village. And I wanted to see what you thought about it. Is this a place where you could live, or would you like a more modern vibe to settle in? And at the end of this video, I will talk to you about the pros and cons, and we'll take it from there. So I hope you enjoy this. I think this is going to be a special video, and I think you're really going to enjoy what you see. So let's get going. All right, so what we're driving down is the main canal road here. And I'll show you this right here. This is where we come from, right down here. And there's little shops and stuff along the way. There's a hair designing salon there. And they do a wonderful job. My wife has used that. That is the beautiful canal that runs down throughout. And in the rainy season, it is so beautiful. There you go. But what I wanted to bring you over here and show you is along the way, they have houses for sale. And the thing about this, they don't usually, like back in the United States, I know they put, you know, you may see the price right there reduced to $299,000. This right here, you call the property owner or the agent, and I guess you work with them. But look how beautiful this yard is here. Lots of trees. I wish I could get inside there and show you it, but I just think this is gorgeous. Yep. This really attracted us because during the rainy seasons when we came and took a look at it, and man, everything was so green and lush, and we kind of fell in love with it. But you got it. All right, let's get back on the road. right, so it's been almost 2 years since we moved here, and when I come down this main canal road, this view still blows my mind. It's these rice fields, especially in the early evening. Try to sneak a peek in between the trees because it is so beautiful, and there are workers out there still working, but it's just a wonderful view as you make your way down this road right here. One of the things I noticed too is that coming from the city, when you first hit that canal road, it feels like the temperature drops 10 degrees or so. I don't know if it's all the teak trees that lines this road, but it just cools off right away, and it's such a relief, especially when it's hot like that. See if I can get you another view here. There's some of the workers still going at it. All right, let me take you to town center now, the center of town. All right, so when I first got here and I started the YouTube channel, I think it was maybe my second or third video, which was titled Welcome to My Village. At that time, we had no transportation. And so my wife and I just walked around the main kind of town center and showed you around. And I just want to revisit that because I have a lot more information than I had at this time. So this right here is an area where, if you're familiar, the sung tao, those yellow trucks, I guess they're red also, silver, they come in different colors, but this right here is where you would meet in the morning if you wanted to go into the city. And 2 years ago, we took it from here all the way where we got dropped off at the Ping River. I think it was maybe 30 baht to do that. Yeah. But hi there. So let me show you a little bit of this area right here. That right there is an area where you can go if you want to buy chicken, pork, that kind of thing. There's your little store there. There's a coffee shop. And right across the street there is Swan's coffee shop. That's one of the first ones I was introduced to. I almost bought myself a sidecar when I first got here. I thought that'd be pretty cool to take the dog around in. Swadee cup. But pretty much everything you need, eggs. There's fruit. Most of the times these stands are hopping, but because of the Friday market, they go and sell their stuff here. There rather. But this was not open when we first came here. But you move here, everything you pretty much need for your home, with the exception of furniture. There's AC units, there's fans, wash machine over there, humidifier, and they have all kinds of motorbikes here. And I think the prices are pretty compatible to what you would pay in the city. Got small refrigerators here. That's a nice little 125. And they also have televisions. I mentioned the washing dryers. There's phones, microwaves. Oh, there's a larger refrigerators back there. There's your stove, your gas stove tops, rice cookers, blenders. Yeah, so pretty much everything you need. All right, let's take a quick visit to the Friday market. I'll see you there. All right, so one of the reasons why I wanted to film this episode on a Friday is because of our Friday market. And so I've shown you other markets throughout Dorset and in the city, but let me show you our own little market. All right, it's a little after 4, so this is slowing down a little bit, but I'll just walk you through here, show you what we got real quick. Swadee Cup. Swadee Cup. I will be back for pineapple. This is like some of the sweetest pineapple. Small one for 25 baht, less than $1. And then for 50 baht, you get a large bag of that. There's bananas, bok choy, onions, Swadee Cup. Swadee Cup. Beautiful flowers there, plants rather. But a lot of times we come here on a Friday just to kind of socialize and show you what they have here. Swadee Cup. Yeah, one. Yeah, one. One. Yeah. Yeah. Cup and cup. All right, so I just made a transaction. I'll show you that in a minute. It's kind of slowing down now because not as many set up. In the fall, you would see a lot of the vendors here. You got clothes here. Like I say, this is one of the smaller ones that I've seen here. But just the prices of things are a lot less than what you get in the city. They have tools here at times. There's some bags there. Those are nice. To give you an example, there's one down there that's 80 baht. So that's about, I don't know, $3, a little less than $3. All right, so really, I just want to show you the vibe of it. I love this. I love Friday. All right, let's get you back on the road. All right, so we're at our temple, and all of the villages, the Mupans, they have their own temples, and those are the dogs that protect them. So I'm not going to go in there. But if you follow from the beginning, like I said, you may recognize this area right here. All right. So that right there is a good store to get your meat and everything from there. Swadee Cup. This right here is where we get a lot of the dog food that we go feed the dogs at with. We also have cat food. If you want to play the lottery. And this is where we buy our eggs from. That's 37 baht for 10, so that's about $1 for 10 eggs right there. A little over $1. I showed you this convenience store before, so go back and watch that first video. But just like any other 7-Eleven of that nature, most of the stuff is local. All right, I'm going to take you to one of my favorite spots. I'm going to show you where we have Sunday coffee at. So hope you're enjoying this ride. Let's go see where we do our coffee. Well, unfortunately, our coffee place is closed, but I'm going to have to do a separate video on that anyway, but that is the Yellow House. All right, I'm going to show you the only ATM that's in this village. So let's go take a look at that. And also Tao Garden. So that's an alternative to stay if you decide to come in this area as well. All right, so I'm still on the same little small street that I just came down from the Yellow House down there, and here is where we have Tao Garden. So this is a spa and a resort. They hold a lot of different classes here, and I would do a separate video on that. But I want to walk back down here because I want to kind of show you one of the things I really appreciate about this place is that at any given moment there's these little, I guess if you were in New York or so you would call them bodegas, but kind of like the mom and pop shops, and it's good to have them around for just little needs. Check this out. So there's just little archways to different places here. Look how green that is there. Got a little creek running through there. Sometimes I just come for a walk and enjoy these places. When we first got here, my wife and I were walking 5, 6, 7 miles a day just because we love seeing what this village had to offer. There's water everywhere. Like here, there's a house for sale at Sak Homestay. I have a video coming up about that at Sak Homestay. But coming up here is what I was talking about in reference to just these little stores and restaurants here. They even have house for daily rentals here. So bananas are only 10 baht there. Swadee Cup. Yeah. They got different items for sale here, purses and games. You got coconut water. All right. All right, so we are not done yet, but I'm gonna close it down for today because the rain is coming, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, good morning. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and the skies are still not agreeing with me. It is still pretty cloudy. We had a hard night of rain, but I'm going to get as much feminine as I can. So this right here is right down the road from where I live. It splits where you can go either left or right, and both ways will eventually take you to the dam. But I just want to show you some things here before I take you up that way. I have never been here, but I did talk to a local friend of mine, and this is like a little neighborhood bar here. You'll see some of the workers get off and come and enjoy themselves here. But also, on the same side, it lets you know that that way to the right that I just mentioned is the way to the suspension bridge. Dana and I did an early video on the suspension bridge. You can go back and check that out. That's going to be probably one of the first 5 videos I did. That was fun. All right, let's walk a little bit. So early in the morning, you usually catch a lot of people on their way to work. Usually between 7 and 7:30, I take Michonne for a car ride, and then I'll park somewhere either up by the dam or one of the walking paths that I'll show you later on in this video, that I take her for a walk. She loves to ride through and see the other dogs, the soy dogs. But here, right here on my left, is a nice little store. And this was part of the first video that I did about my village. And so you can come here. We get our eggs here. So many different places to get different vegetables and herbs. So, and as we go down here, you'll see how people take care of their homes in here also. This is a nice little house right here. Of course, I can't walk up in there, but walk you a little ways. There's a big mix of houses in here. And for instance, right here, that is a traditional teak house. You know, there's so many little places that you can go and have a meal and everything. Swadee Cup. Here's another example of people. They just ride up to these little vendors that are mostly out of people's houses, and they just grab something to eat and they go on about their way. Yesterday, when I brought you in here, there's a small Friday market, but I want to show you this area is used for so many different things. For example, people come here and they play badminton, but on a lot of occasions you'll see a lot of the elderly, they come here and they use the equipment to work out. And every village that I've been to, as I've just gone for rides, you will see some workout equipment in almost every village that I've been to. All right, so let me take you up towards the dam and we'll take a look at that. See you in a little bit. All right, as I make my way toward the dam, I go past the Tesabon here in the village, which is pretty much kind of like what would be considered local government, maybe in some of the Western countries, maybe City Hall where the government officials are, and they take care of a lot of things, be it disputes between neighbors, trying to mediate those kind of things, whatever messages need to be put out in the village, they take care of those kind of things also. For instance, if the water is going to be shut off for a period of time, then there's a vehicle or speaker system that is usually up there that would pass that information along. But also within the Tesabon, you have, you know, your fire trucks and the ambulance, which I don't see move a lot here, I guess, which is a good thing. But yeah, so I just want to show you those buildings. I want to go in there, but let me tell you something about dogs protecting places. Like you saw the temple the other day, dogs will protect certain territories, and there's 3 or 4 dogs in there, which are generally nice, and they probably are nice, but there's just something about being bit tonight that bit this morning that doesn't appeal to me, so I'm not going to take a chance. But that is a Tesabon. Let's make our way on up to the dam. All right, so I made about another well, about another 100 yards and I came across this area here. So you'll see there are different types of houses here. Some would have the metal roofs, and this right here, this started a couple months ago, I guess several months ago, and these are 2 houses being built side by side. There's a lot of construction in this area, and I'll show you another one coming up here shortly. All right, right there is the entrance that we're going to go to, and it takes us to both the viewpoint and the main dam and harbor area that I will show you here shortly. But what I wanted to show you is this house right here. And I don't know if this does it justice, but this house has been being renovated for quite a while, and I just love the look of it. Behind it, there's so much green area. See if I can get a better look. It's not coming like I wanted to focus in, but that's okay. But yeah, this is a very green area here. I drive down this area all the time, and man, I just never get tired of this view. Looks like an old country road, you know. For those of you who grew up in the country, there's not a whole lot of noise out here. I hear people mowing the grass, and I see people enjoying their morning walks. That right there is, I believe, like a camp area for kids. Let me show you the sign there. You'll see what I mean. Look at these trees. It's not what I expected when I first moved here, but this right here is the Living Word Ministries, and what I've learned is that a lot of missionaries come to Thailand. There's a lot of orphanages that are supported by different religions. I've seen everybody. I've seen Baptist churches here. I've seen Kingdom Halls of Jehovah's Witnesses here. So I think Thailand is more tolerant of religion than I had known. And that's one of the things that I love about Thailand is tolerance. And so later on I'll talk a little more about that. But now I'm going to take you to the dam. All right, so like I mentioned, we got two options, the main dam and viewpoint, and then the left dam and harbor. We're going to go to the main dam and viewpoint first. I think it would be safe to say that I come here at least 3 or 4 times a week just for this view. This right here. Some 2 years later, it never gets old. And this is probably maybe a 10-minute motorbike ride. Or a car ride, because I bring Michonne up here too. And then on the other side, it is as green as far as the eyes can see. And it's just majestic. I just take this in every time I have a chance to make my way up here. I'm going to take you to the main viewpoint, and I'm sorry, to the dam and harbor side. And you'll see that the views are just as spectacular. So I will see you over there. All right, so I made it to the main dam, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but my wife and I, we did a video on this. You can go back and check that out. If you're new to the channel, we had a few adventures out here, and it was a lot of fun. So let me show you this view here. All right, spectacular in its own way. This side right here, you may be able to see that little housing or boathouse area there. There's a harbor on the other side of it. But I walk Michonne here on a regular basis as well. Right down this road, there's usually some dogs there that I feed early in the morning around 7 o'clock, 6:30. And this is the other side. The same as you got from the other view. Down there, there is a water treatment plant, and I'm going to take you down there in just a second. So there's some spectacular places to come up here and see the views, and even up top here, that area up high, a lot of the dogs kind of hang out there on top of the rocky area. And then if you walk on further down that road there, there's even more green views. All right, so let's go down to the area of the water plant. There's a soccer field there that I want to talk about for a little bit. I'll see you there. right, so that right there is your water treatment area. Those are the dogs that protect it, making sure you're not coming in because you're not authorized. All right, let's keep moving. All right, that's another one of those houses I really like there. Nice piece of property. And this right here, I remember walking down this road when we first got here. I used to walk 5 or 6 miles a day, and there were so many people on the soccer field. You saw families just hanging out. They had vendors set up there. Everyone was just having a good time. And not that I needed the reminder, but it was a reminder that no matter where you go, no matter what country you go to, overall family is family. And they take a lot of pride in family time here. And you see it as you see families just spend so much time together up there by the dam as well. You know, so I really like to come out here and just watch people interact with their families. It's a great sight. All right, so I'm going to break here because the sky is not being kind to me filming today. So maybe I'll be back in the afternoon, but I want to take you to a restaurant here in the village. But let's save this for a little later, so I would hate for my hair to get wet. I'll see you in a little bit. Well, sometimes things do not go as planned. What I wanted to do was I wanted to end showing you my village here with some green spaces that I go to, and I take Michonne on walks, and I wanted to show you some restaurants. But let's start with the green spaces. Let me show you some pictures and hopefully video, but if not, at least pictures of where I take Michonne, and just beautiful places for you to go with your significant other or by yourself for some wonderful walks. Now, as far as restaurants, there are restaurants in the village, but the thing is, they're very limited. So Arbusto is one of my go-to restaurants. It is a combination of Italian as well as Western foods. Very good food. Never have been disappointed with Arbusto. And then there's the Lemon Tree restaurant. Mostly Thai dishes, but very good Thai dishes, and I think you will enjoy it. I'm going to put a link to both of those restaurants in the description so you can take a closer look at those restaurants. And of course, there are numerous kind of the mom and pop noodle shops that are around, and so it's easy to partake of those as well. So let's get into the pros and cons. I want to start with the cons. And I think one of the cons is that you have these applications such as Grab and Lineman that deliver food to you, especially if you're in the old city. It's easy. You hit the app, you order what you want to, and it's there within 20 minutes sometimes. But out here in Lunang Nuea, in the village that we live in, we kept running into a problem. I would put in an order, the order would go through, and then a few minutes later it says your order has been canceled. And what I came to find out is they do not want to deliver out that far. And so it got to the point, because we didn't have transportation to go to some of these places, or we really didn't know about Arbusto at that time, Getting dinner was a challenge, and so we had to start getting our dinner early, be it the noodle restaurant, get lunch and dinner at the same time, because a lot of the local shops closed down at 5 o'clock. So getting food at first was an issue. That was one of the cons. Also, during the rainy season, you will lose power. It may be for an hour, it may be for a couple of hours, but what we do is we usually just jump in the car, go for a ride with our dog, and go for a walk somewhere, and just come back home and just deal with it. So that is another con, not having that stable electricity sometimes, and even the water as well can shut off. But we fixed that by having a cistern. Our landlord put a cistern in that he turns on if the water goes out. But it's little things like that that I call the cons of living out there in the villages, which to me is not too bad. But I tell you, the pros to me outnumber the cons. I wake up in the morning, and this is either a curse or a blessing, depending on who you are. But I used to wake up in the morning and I would put on some meditation music and just meditate for a while, close my eyes. And it got to the point where instead I would open the living room door and listen to all the birds, so many different types of birds just chirping away. The chickens come into the yard and I listen to that. And to me, that is what I love waking up to, not traffic going by at 100 miles an hour or anything like that. So the serenity is definitely one of the pros there. And I love waking up to that. In a lot of my videos, I talk about safety. And I tell you what, that Tesabon that I showed you, the local government area, I think I've seen that police truck go by twice, since the 2 years I've been there. But we don't have the kind of violent crimes in this village that a lot of places in the West have. I've asked around the people that have been here 20, 25 years, and it's just something that you don't see or you hear of there. I've never seen an argument in the streets between locals or anything of that nature. And let me tell you, if you can live in a place where the monks, in the morning, I see the monks go around and they receive food from the locals and they provide a prayer to them. And whatever your beliefs is, this is just what I believe. There is such a spirituality about living in this village, and it's a vibe that I can't explain, but it just resonates with peace. And with that, it could be our long-term place, and if not, it will be someplace similar to that. So you do have a lot going on. There's a combination of your local Thai homes, you have your modern homes, so there's a little bit for everybody. So let me know in the comments, is this some place that you could live, or would you like a more, Western feel of a gated community, that kind of thing? If that is the case, well, I have a treat for you. I got a video coming up on another place that a lot of expats are heading to, and I got my friend Michael that's going to help me with that video. So thanks for joining me. Please like and subscribe. Folks, we have hit 5,000 subscribers. I'm grateful every single day and for every single one of you. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.